housing crisis is real. Interest rates are headed north. Now, we also talk about the state at which the housing market is at, and also 10 facts that point to its demise. Yes, many economists are predicting a housing market collapse. President Biden warned of food shortages, but that warning has been exacerbated by the bird flu, which is killing off chickens in epic proportion, and the economic impact that this will have on our food supply, in fact, the global food supply, and the price of poultry products. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also tap that notification bell. And now, let's get on with the video. Egg prices are expected to continue to rise as more states are hit by an outbreak of the H5N1 avian influenza A. Basically, it's the bird flu. Now, this is also threatening a raise of prices on other poultry products in the coming months as the deaths of chickens continue to climb. So far, cases of the highly pathogenic avian flu have led to the deaths of more than 17 million birds, and reports are saying making it the worst bird flu outbreak since 2015, when nearly 50 million birds were slaughtered or died. H5N1 bird flu viruses have been detected in wild birds and commercial as well as backyard poultry in over 24 states. Dunn Avenue Poultry CEO Oz Balsey, who oversees the day-to-day operation, says, quote, "Every day, all of our eggs are selling out. We had to raise by $2. We are selling one tray for $8. The chickens at Dunn Avenue Poultry Farm on the north side of Jacksonville produce more than 500 eggs a day." Balsey also sells his eggs to local families and not big box stores. 30 free-range organic eggs for $8. Balsey blames the supply chain more than anything else for the reasons behind the raising of prices. But this bird flu is not helping prices at all. Standard practice in the poultry industry is to destroy all infected and exposed birds to stop the spread of the virus, meaning that there are far fewer egg-laying hens and chickens to meet the upcoming demand for eggs. Hope you guys are prepared for what's coming. And in other news, one of the most important necessities in our lives is our homes, or at least a place where we can call home. But with the constant barrage of challenges from every which way, starting with the pandemic, to job loss, to inflation, global conflict, and so much more, times got even tougher for most of us to keep the same budget intact. And in reality, hundreds of thousands of Americans may find themselves homeless during this year, as we're only 4 months in, but the hardships that we face feel like a decade long. Wages also have not kept up with the prices that we're facing in the housing market now, and it's as if we're fighting an uphill battle every single day. Even those in the middle class are suffering, especially those renting, who are finding it even tougher to find an affordable place during this phase where prices just keep going up. Now, in the same light, investors who have money to play around with, they're buying up houses, and there's not much the average American do to compete. And it's not like we needed more of a challenge, but even supply chain issues are affecting the housing market. Getting more supplies is becoming more expensive. The decline in raw materials and the shipping disruptions all over the world has also not helped us one bit. Just recently, it was reported that the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage is now at 4.67%. Just a week before, it was sitting at 4.42%. And last December, it was at, guess what, 3.11%. Now just imagine for a second. You will be paying this amount until 2052 if you were to secure a mortgage today. And that brings us to today's very important topic, the housing bubble and the top 10 facts about the crisis right now. Alright, so let's start off with number 10. Now, between the last 2 years, home prices have risen 19.7%, with Phoenix, San Diego, and Seattle all recording record increases of more than 25%. Number 9. Remember when we said that investors who have money to play around with are buying homes right now? That's actually not the worst news here. Investors bought 18.4% of all homes sold during the fourth quarter of last year. And within the last year, about 80,000 homes were bought. About 1/3 of the homes purchased by investors were in the mid-price market. So if you're low income, good luck finding a place to rent out there. Number 8, in 2022, only 1 in 10 homes was sold for less than $300,000. Now, with the same concept back last year, 3 out of 10 homes sold for the same price. Alright, number 7. In 2020, 46% of Americans spent 30% or more of their income on housing. But even worse, about 23% spent more than half of their pay for this very reason. Now, if you thought that was bad, listen to this. More than 60% of Americans now spend 30% of their budget to pay for mortgage or for rent. Number 6. If you wanted your jaws to drop, listen to this amazing fact. Since 2020, housing prices have torpedoed 284%. I mean, talk about a one-way ticket to the moon, right? Granted, the pandemic started in 2020. Alright, number 5. Renters beware. Since 2020, rent has increased by 17%. Now, a typical apartment is now $283 more expensive each month compared to 2 years ago. So, unless you're making that much more money now compared to when the pandemic started, you might be in trouble. Alright, so number 4, and on that note, renters' income has increased by only 0.05%. Rental prices increased by 13%. Now, I'm no math genius, but this is clear that renters are losing. Now, with that statistic, it would almost be impossible to find a renter who's willing and able to pay such new prices. Alright, number 3. About 60% of renters in the country are low-wage workers. Now, with the median wage in the United States right now sitting at $21 an hour, a worker needs to make $20.40 an hour just to afford a modest one-bedroom rental. Now, depending on where you work, the minimum hourly wage, it may differ. And even with the recent increases, it's virtually impossible for some Americans who earn at the low-wage level to rent even a one-bedroom apartment. Alright, number 2. Rick Sharga, Executive Vice President of Realty Track, he said, quote, February foreclosure activity looks a lot like what we can expect to see for at least the next 6 months. Double-digit month-over-month growth and triple-digit year-over-year increases. This isn't an indication of economic turmoil or weakness in the housing market. It's simply the gradual return to normal levels of foreclosure activity after 2 years of artificially low numbers due to government and industry efforts to protect financially impacted homeowners from defaulting, end quote. Now, compared to last year, repossessed properties throughout the county went up. Lender repossessed was 2,364 through February, up 70% from last year. Alright, number 1. A growing number of Americans say that affordable housing is now a major problem where they live. Now, another 36% of US adults said in the fall that affordable housing availability is a minor problem in their community, while just 14% said it's not a problem. Most of us, especially those who are going through a rough patch, dreamed of owning a home. A place where we could kind of kick our feet up and just relax. Maybe hang out in the backyard. But that dream is just that. It's a dream. With the prices of homes just going through the roof, our wages staying almost the same, there's not much you can do with that. Unless, of course, you picked up a side hustle, maybe a second job, or started an online business, of course. But what are you guys' thoughts on the housing market right now? Are you renting? Do you own a home? Are you looking to buy a home? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments below. And well guys, that does it for today's video. And you know the drill. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell also so that you don't miss out on future videos. And the thumbs up is very important, so make sure to like this video and share it with your friends and family.